It was April 2015. Me, my girlfriend, and my little brother, who was 9 years old, had gone to a small nearby movie theater on a Wednesday night to see the horror movie It Follows. We usually went late on weekends to get the whole theater to ourselves. Plus, I had off on Thursdays that semester. When we entered the theater at first, it seemed like we were the only ones inside the theater. But then my little brother pointed somebody out. He was a man in a dark grey hoodie, sitting in the top left corner seat in the theater. It was a little sketchy, but nobody would really give it a second thought. We picked upper middle row seats with a railing in front, and we each sat with an empty seat between us for more room. I know that sounds weird to do with my girlfriend with me, but having my brother there made it a different story. I was sitting closest to the edge, therefore the closest to the one other guy in the room besides us. Within 5 minutes, previews were over and movie was starting. The lights in the theater dimmed to darkness, and the only light now was the light projecting from the screen. My little brother took out his bag of candies he snuck in and started to eat them obnoxiously loud. About 5 minutes into the movie, over my brother's loud candy wrapper noises, which we told him to stop for the record, I thought I heard a pretty loud sound come from above and behind us. I waited a few seconds to sneak a glance behind us and saw that the guy that was sitting in the top corner had moved down a row, which was odd. But again, I didn't give him more than a second thought. Another 5 minutes later, when the movie was already starting to get interesting, again I heard a sound come from behind us. Again I turned when I thought it wouldn't be too obvious, and again the guy was a whole row closer to us. I leaned to my girlfriend and said while chuckling, "Don't look, but the guy keeps moving closer to the screen." She shrugged her shoulders and didn't even show interest in checking. I told myself if he did it again, then I would have a problem and managed to get back into the movie. I'd say another 5 minutes later, without even hearing anything this time, I just turned around with curiosity and saw the man a whole row closer, and this time he wasn't at the last seat of the row anymore. He was moved further down the row closer to us now. He was only 3 rows behind us. I nudged my girlfriend and then she turned around. Then she looked at me and gave me a confused, concerned kind of look. She asked me if we should move and I said definitely not. At this point I wasn't able to pay attention to the movie anymore. Even though I was facing the screen, I felt like the man's gaze was hitting me in the back of my head. I told myself if he moves closer I would turn around and firmly ask what he was doing. But then I also thought, what if I'm looking too much into this? What if he's just a normal guy who happens to keep switching seats for better view? Once more I turned around and the man was only 2 rows away from us now, closer to the center of the row, or rather directly behind us, and head just completely down looking at his lap. I didn't even bother to check what he was looking at. He could have been looking at nothing. I literally opened my mouth ready to say something, but I was just too much of a coward. I was only 16 last year and pretty skinny. My little brother got up during a slow part of the movie to go to the bathroom. About a minute later, I turned to see if the man had gotten closer again, this time actually ready to say something, but I was shocked to see nobody behind us. It was completely empty. I told my girlfriend and she said, "Good." But then I stood up in pure fear, thinking of my little brother, telling my girlfriend to wait there and running out of the room and into the empty theater hall. I saw the man in the grey hoodie entering the man's bathroom down the hall. Fearing for my little brother's safety, I ran down the hall towards the bathroom, opened the door and saw the man literally on his knees, peeking under the 2 stall doors. Then he looked at me, and at the same time I heard my little brother call me from down the hall. I ran to him, got my girlfriend out of the movie room, and we went to the front desk. The team working in the front ticket stand called the police and showed us and the cops the video footage of the man walking down the hall, and then we filed police report. I'm just so grateful that my brother went to a different bathroom down the opposite direction of the hall, cause if he had been in there, even with my showing up to save him, I have no idea what would have happened. It's been over a year now, and the man was never identified.